Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? My name is Brendan Reviews, and welcome to another episode of Scariest Media. We are here, Scariest Media Season 2, 10? Yeah, and we are going to be reacting to another request. And it's by a guy that I have worked with before in other videos on other channels.
It seems to be a rough start for these boys, but I think they can pull through. Maybe. Challenge 2, the arms race. Challenge 3, cornhole. Our heroes must put balls in holes.
And that is Channel 9 Productions. His link will be in the description if you want to check out his channel, but he recommended to me a little claymation short film called The Sandman from 1991. So, from what I can tell, it's just a claymation short that has possible, good horror, imagery. That even as a kid, it might be more nightmare feel. Maybe not so much as an adult, but at least as a kid, it's probably nightmare feel. But that doesn't mean that it can't still creep out an adult. So, without further ado, let's hop into the 9-minute and 13-second short film that is The Sandman. Alright, and in 3, a 2, a 1. You know, okay, actually, already, just looking at the mountains and all that stuff, listening to the music, it's giving me very, Santa Claus is coming to town type vibes. That's a good thing, that's a good thing. Ooh, I liked that. That was, very, The Thing-esque, you know? The title card in all blue, white, and, just the way it slowly shows itself. I like that. That was good. You know, it's gonna be stuck in my head for the next week. The claymation on its whole, the designs for the characters are definitely very creepy, I would say. They're very, even Coraline-esque, I feel. As in, exaggerated noses and eyes and all that stuff, whether they be smaller or bigger than the other characters and all that stuff. I like it. I like it, though. So far, no words, though. That's interesting. So is it basically it's time for bed and the mom sends her kid up to go to bed? Is that what I'm getting at here? Oh, I know that feeling. Going up the stairs and you're thinking a shadow demon from the basement's chasing after you. And then when you get to the top of the stairs, you're like, fuck you, you stupid fucking piece of shit, ugly ass demon. I liked that. The idea of even though it's just a short few steps away, those few steps are so agonizing that it feels that much more long and treacherous. I liked that. That was good. The sound design I really like. I do really like the sound design a lot. One other thing I'm going to compliment too is the lighting. The lighting seems to be very good, using a lot of shadows and silhouettes to kind of get the point across. Ooh. Kid, just run. Just run. There should be nothing underneath the bed to, knock the covers or whatever. The mouse is even running. That was not him, squeaking at you oh my god, you scared me, human. It's squeaking at you. Look, I'm fucking running too. Okay, so this must be our Sandman. Just based off of the figure, the super broad shoulders, and the long body, the very long and slender legs with the very long nose, oddly shaped head, and hands. It's reminded me a lot of Nosferatu. Once again, the sound design is really good. I liked the idea of... Oh, I liked that. Oh, and I liked the idea of the shadow being what... So it's not just the kid's own imagination. So is this Sandman like somebody that instead of bringing dreams maybe brings nightmares to the kid? Okay. Come on. What the hell just happened? Ah! Oh, wow. Wow. Holy shit. Fucking kid got his eyes ripped out. I wasn't expecting that. Like, when he went like that, right? I didn't know if maybe it was gonna be like, oh, like, it's revealed that, oh, he didn't actually hurt the kid. He took maybe, like, I don't know, the bad dreams away or something like that. And, like, the kid sound asleep or whatever. Like, bad thing turns into a good thing, you know? But, yeah, the kid just got his eyes ripped out. Man, I wouldn't say the rest of it was really that creepy. But, like, now knowing that the kid was truly in legit danger and just got his eyes ripped out, only to feed, like, what? Future Sandman birds? And so the Sandman must be some type of, like, bird, hence the long nose, like a beak, per se, but... Okay. Well, I guess without further ado, let's hop into the quality and production. So for the quality and production of the Sandman, we have a gorgeous visual animation style, that being with claymation, and the lighting to it is really good as well. We have this really, like, nice, like, colorful palette. We have the blues and the reds and the oranges, and we got nice shadows. The silhouettes and all that stuff really helped to add into the atmosphere of the overall short. But also on the audio side, we have really good sound design, we have really good sound effects, and the music is really good. I like how every single time somebody's like taking a step, it's almost like the note of a piano, or it's very reverb, so it adds to the emptiness and the loneliness and the idea of feeling alone in this whole project. And I really like the fact that there's no voice acting either, because when you have a nightmare, sometimes you feel like you can't scream, sometimes you can't talk, so the lack of voices really adds into the idea of this maybe being like a nightmare, or the nightmarish feel of what happened to this kid. And this kid, oh man, just the ending alone really helps to set in that atmosphere, helps to give it a creepy vibe. I wouldn't say this is the creepiest thing I've ever seen, but I would say that it definitely, like, it does a good job of building up its atmosphere. It does a good job of, like, actually having a payoff at the end. Like, I completely damn kid got his eyes ripped out, holy crap. So guys, honestly, I loved the way this was made, I loved how it was produced, and for that reason I'm going to give, for the quality production, a 2 out of 2. Now for the realism. So, the realism, let's talk about nightmares for a moment. So, let's talk about the fact that when you have a nightmare, things feel longer, things feel more treacherous, or maybe sometimes you feel like you can't move, or you feel like you're surrounded by something that may or may not be there. You can't scream. And all of that stuff is ever present in this short. The idea of the hallway getting longer, something that should be short is now treacherous and dangerous to, like, go through. It feels much more longer and all that stuff. And then you have the fact that there's no voice acting, there's no like potential room for screaming to let other people know that, hey, there's something in this room that is terrifying you, going to get you, take your eyes and all that stuff. The idea of just like being surrounded, feeling like you're trapped, you can't escape. Like everybody has those types of nightmares. And I think that this short does a really good job of capturing that feeling, especially with the idea of the lighting, the shadows, the silhouettes, that being basically the true form of terror that just ends up having a payoff with the Sandman actually being a manifestation of said darkness and all that stuff. And so guys, honestly, though I do think it's a little weird, the ending with feeding the baby Sandman, I think that was a stretch a little too far. I would say that overall, as in terms of like going for what it's trying to go for, I believe that nightmarish feel does a good job, and for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 1.5 out of 2 on the realism. Now, gore score. Obviously, nightmares are scary. That's about as deep as it gets in terms of the whole psychological factor, just like in terms of like playing up on the idea of what is in the shadows and all that stuff. But aside from that, it doesn't really dive too far into it. I don't know why it's like that. It doesn't dive more into the idea of the nightmarish feel of it all, but it does do a good job, at least to capturing some of the paranoia surrounding darkness. And then of course the eyes getting ripped out, that adds to like the gore scores and all that stuff as well. But overall, I wouldn't say this is the most like psychologically affecting or violent thing I've ever seen in my life. Of course not. And I would probably give it a 1.25 out of 2 for the gore score. Now moving on to creep factor. Paranoia is key, and obviously the ending is key as well. But because obviously it's made maybe more for like, not like younger kids, but older kids, maybe somebody that's like between the ages of like 9 to maybe 13, I could maybe see this being made for, as opposed to like older groups. I mean, we can appreciate it as adults and all that stuff, but it's maybe more targeted for those groups of people, those like 9 to 13-year-old kids who aren't able to see rated R movies yet, but are maybe getting the PG-13 movies and all that stuff. But I wouldn't say this was that creepy. I would definitely say it has its moments, definitely the ending and the paranoia of everything, but overall, it's not that creepy. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give for the creep factor I'd give it a 1.5 out of 4. So guys, with a 2 out of 2 on the quality and production, a 1.5 on the realism, a 1.25 on the gore score, and a 1.5 out of 4 on the creep factor, that brings the Sandman to a 6.25 out of 10, which is a slightly unnerving rating, and I think that's fair. I would definitely say that it has its moments. I would definitely say it's a pretty well-made scary short for children. But as an adult, obviously I can appreciate it, but I don't think it has the punch that an adult will have aside from the ending moment. So guys, there you go. Channel 9, I hope you enjoyed the video. And my name is Brendan Reviews. Hope you guys have a great day, evening, night, whatever the fuck time you guys are watching this in. I will see you all next time.